Everyone tells you your fertility has an expiration date. Almost nobody tells you what's actually happening inside your body to cause that, or that the man's age matters just as much. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what changes, what you can still control, and what the real numbers say about having a baby after 40. Can you have a healthy baby after 40? Short answer, yes. Every single day, all over the world. But the longer answer, the biology behind it, the risks for both the mother and the father, and what modern medicine can actually do about it, almost never gets explained in one place. So today we're covering all of it. Not just the scary statistic everyone quotes, but the full picture, for both women and men. What's actually happening inside the ovaries? Let's start with the part most people think they understand, but don't. A baby girl is born with every egg she will ever have, somewhere between 1 and 2 million of them, already sitting in her ovaries before she's even born. That number starts dropping immediately, long before puberty. By the time she gets her first period, she's down to roughly 300,000 to 500,000 eggs. By 37, that reserve has shrunk to around 25,000. By menopause, it's down to about 1,000. But here's the part that rarely gets mentioned. The count isn't the whole story. Doctors can actually estimate how many eggs a woman has left using a blood test for a hormone called AMH, anti-Mullerian hormone. A low AMH doesn't mean pregnancy is impossible. It just gives a clearer picture of the timeline a woman is working with, which is why more fertility specialists now recommend checking it in your early to mid-30s, not just when you're already trying to conceive. Quantity is only half the equation, though. Egg quality changes with age, too. Older eggs are more prone to chromosomal errors, which is a major reason conception gets harder, and miscarriage risk climbs in the mid-30s and beyond. Here's where it gets interesting, though, because the number everyone Googles isn't actually the full risk picture. Stick around, because what comes next changes how you should think about that number. The real odds, cycle by cycle. In her 20s and early 30s, a woman has roughly a 20 to 25% chance of conceiving in any single cycle. By 40, that number drops to somewhere around 5 to 10%. That's an average, though not a guarantee for any individual. Some women conceive naturally at 42 without any trouble. Others struggle in their late 20s. Cycle tracking, ovulation testing, and simply knowing your own fertile window can meaningfully improve the odds within whatever biological window you have, which is why many fertility doctors recommend tracking basal body temperature or using an ovulation predictor kit before assuming intervention is needed. Now, this next part is the one almost every pregnancy after 40 video skips entirely. What's happening on the father's side of the equation? Male fertility doesn't get a pass either. Men don't run out of sperm the way women run out of eggs. They keep producing new sperm their whole lives. But still producing doesn't mean unaffected by age. As men get older, sperm count, motility, how well sperm actually swim, shape, and DNA integrity can all gradually decline. Couples where the male partner is over 45 are statistically more likely to take a year or longer to conceive, even with a younger partner. There's also a genetic side to this. As men age, new mutations accumulate in sperm cells, which is linked to a modestly higher risk of conditions like autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, schizophrenia, and bipolar disorder in children of older fathers. Important context, these are relative risks. The absolute risk for any one child stays low, and the overwhelming majority of older fathers have completely healthy kids. What rarely gets said, sperm quality is one of the more modifiable fertility factors. Smoking, heavy alcohol use, obesity, chronic heat exposure like frequent hot tubs or laptop-on-lap use, and poor sleep have all been linked to lower sperm quality. And several studies suggest improvements in these areas can measurably help within just a few months, since sperm regenerates roughly every 70 to 90 days. Okay, egg side covered, sperm side covered. Now let's talk about what actually happens once pregnancy occurs, because this is where most of the real medical attention goes. What changes for the mother during pregnancy? If pregnancy happens after 40, doctors typically recommend closer monitoring, not because something is automatically wrong, but because certain complications simply become statistically more common with age. These include gestational diabetes, preeclampsia, placenta previa, and a higher likelihood of needing a cesarean delivery. Multiple pregnancies, twins or triplets, are also more common in mothers over 40, especially when fertility treatments are involved. What's often left out? Many of these risks are significantly reduced with a preconception checkup. Getting blood pressure, blood sugar, and thyroid function checked before trying to conceive, not after a positive test, gives doctors a real baseline and lets them catch issues early rather than reactively. What changes for the baby? The chance of chromosomal conditions also rises with maternal age. The most well-known is Down syndrome, roughly 1 in 1,200 at age 25, climbing to about 1 in 100 by age 40. Here's the part that's usually missing from this conversation: how doctors actually find out. Non-invasive prenatal testing, or NIPT, can screen for chromosomal conditions using a simple maternal blood draw as early as 10 weeks. If results suggest elevated risk, doctors may follow up with diagnostic testing, like amniocentesis or CVS, for a definitive answer. None of this is required, it's offered, and the decision is entirely the parents to make. And if you're wondering what if conception just isn't happening naturally, that's the next piece nobody explains clearly either: when fertility treatment enters the picture. This is one of the biggest gaps in most pregnancy after 40 content. IVF success rates do decline with maternal age, largely tracking the same egg quality trend we covered earlier. But there are paths around that. Egg freezing in the 30s preserves younger, healthier eggs for later use. Donor eggs are another option many people don't realize exists until much later than they wish they had. And for couples facing male factor fertility issues, treatments like ICSI, where a single sperm is injected directly into an egg, can address sperm quality and motility issues specifically. None of these are guarantees, and they come with real financial and emotional costs that deserve their own conversation. But knowing they exist changes the decision-making timeline for a lot of people. Now here's the part that actually matters most if you're planning ahead: what you can control starting today. Independent of age, a few things consistently move the needle. Starting a prenatal vitamin with folic acid before conception, reaching and maintaining a healthy weight, managing existing conditions like high blood pressure or thyroid issues, cutting back alcohol, and quitting smoking for both partners, not just the mother. Stress reduction matters too. Chronic stress has been linked to hormonal disruption that can affect ovulation timing. None of this guarantees a particular outcome, but it stacks the odds in your favor within whatever window you're working with. The upside nobody talks about. This conversation almost always centers on risk, but the research tells a more balanced story. Parents over 40 are statistically more likely to have financial stability, established careers, and more life experience going into parenthood. Pregnancies at this stage also tend to be more planned and deliberately prepared for. There's even emerging research linking later childbirth to certain healthy aging outcomes for mothers, though that area is still being studied and isn't fully understood yet. The truth is, becoming a parent after 40 isn't a single number on a chart. It's a personal decision that weighs joy, risk, and readiness for both partners. Talk to a doctor you trust. Get the testing that gives you real information instead of guesswork. And remember, there's no universally right age, only the right one for you. If this helped clarify something you've been wondering about, hit subscribe. We cover women's health topics like this every week. And drop a comment. What's the one question about pregnancy after 40 you still want answered?